Hello and welcome back to the Black Countryman, and today we are back in the shed, and I thought I would introduce you to my gun collection. It is a small gun collection, but these are all of the guns that I own, and I haven't planned anything, so I'm just going to sort of talk. But as you can see, for a very young person in shooting, me being 24, I own 3 side-by-sides. And that is just because I have been introduced into the world of shooting by my father-in-law, who is a side-by-side shooter. So therefore, I learnt how to shoot a side-by-side, and it now just feels alien and horrible picking up an under and over, and I can't do it. I've tried and it just doesn't work. So I have 3 guns, 3 very different guns, and I will take you through each gun one by one. So just to give you a rundown, I have my main shooting gun that I use for my clays and for game days. What is my AYA model number 4. I then have the gun that you guys would have seen before, what is the 100-year-old pigeon gun. This is a Belgian gun, over 100 years old. And then we have this French gun, that is a side-by-side, and it is a 16 gauge. So it is very small, and this used to be Sarah's granddad's gun, or my partner's gun. Granddad's gun that has been passed down to me so that my partner, when we go to playgrounds, can shoot this gun and have a bit of heritage about it. This French gun, we'll quickly run into it quickly, is a Saint Extreme. It is a Saint Extreme by the gun maker Verney Caron. Yeah, my main gun that I use for my clays and for my game days. The pigeon gun, that is the 100-year-old Belgian 12 bore that you would have saw, and then the 16 gauge French gun. So I'm going to run into each gun individually and talk about them a little bit more in detail. This is my AYA model number 4. It is dated in 1980 is when it was made, so it's not overly old, and it hasn't been absolutely battered like some of the guns that you've seen. I bought this from Holt's, what is the auctioneers that you can find online, and it has 28-inch nitro barrels, 2 3/4 chambers. It's bored approximately to full and half, or half and full. It has an automatic safety, and still is retaining some of the original case cutter hardening, so it's quite a nice gun. And it has a 14.5-inch stock, including a 1/8 of an inch rubber recoil pad. 1/8 inches of a rubber recoil pad. And it currently weighs 6 pounds and 15 ounces. So it's not the heaviest gun in the world. Arguably, this gun is still a tad too short for me. I'm in the market of getting a 30 to 32 inch barreled gun with roughly as close to a 15-inch stock that I can get. I'm 6'3", so as you can imagine, the sort of guns that I need to have need to be a bit sort of longer as such. This gun, since the moment that I've got it, has just, what is roughly about a year now since I've had it, and I've just clicked with it straight away. So it just closes up amazingly. Like, you can just hear that locking up. It's got no wobble. It's all really tight in the action. There's no wobble at all in the action. I feather an eye when I shoot. This gun is empty, but it just, when it comes up, it just comes up absolutely perfectly on me. It did take me a long time to get used to this because I was used to shooting my pigeon gun, the Belgian gun, for a long time. That was the first gun that I owned, and it's got a bit of a chunkier stock. So when it came up, it sort of filled the area that this didn't. So it took me a long while to get this to come up to the cheekbone of mine straight away, for it to sort of come into my shoulder better. And I have enjoyed this gun every single moment. I can't fault the AYA at all, and I've been really lucky. It's got ejectors, so when out game shooting, it obviously ejects the cartridges. So yeah, everything I've been really lucky, has just worked on this gun. I am in the process of, I'm either going to buy another, there's a cheap AYA on the Holtz website, that is the same AYA, so I'm tempted to buy that so that I've got a second set of barrels, because I'm going to get these bored out to potentially 50/50 or 50/4 for game shooting. So with the steel thing coming in, I can't shoot this with such tight chokes. So I'm in the process of getting these bored out so that I'd be able to be compliant when the lead band comes in. But yeah, this is my AYA. Absolutely love it to pieces, and it has just been a godsend. I've just clicked with it straight away. So I'm looking at potentially even getting a new gun altogether. And I want it to sort of work off the style of what I've got here. But that is my AYA, and I will now move on to the Belgian 12 bore that you guys have recently seen in the restoration of that gun. This is the Belgian gun. It is 12 bore, and I've got a tape measure here just to check the barrel length, and I believe it is a 26-inch barreled gun, but I'm just going to confirm that. 27 and a bit inch barrels. It is a non-ejector, and as you know, it's over 100 years old. It's had a very hard life. I will put the old video up here somewhere. I think it's over here. This gun was the first gun that was ever given to me. My father-in-law passed this down to me, and since then I've had plenty of clay days with this. I learned how to shoot with this. These are approximately extra full and full choked. The joke is that if you hit something with this second barrel, it is dust and it is not living. It gives a hell of a kick as well, but that's just the way that it is. The stock's quite short on it as well. It has got a extender on it at the minute, but just as a rough guesstimate, it's sort of somewhere around that 14-inch mark. So this gun was extremely small, and I just learned to wrap my body round it. As I said, this has got a bit of a chunkier stock towards the end than my AYA. So when I first learned to shoot, I got so used to having a gun that had such a chunky stock that this just filled that space. And this is quite a flat gun. Yeah, extremely flat, and yeah, it's just been one of them guns really. I forgot to mention about the AYA, obviously double trigger. This is also a double trigger. A lot of people who shoot under and overs, and a lot of my friends just can't get used to the second trigger. But obviously, because it's the way that I learn, it is just so much easier for me to get used to, and sort of always sort of being shooting that way. This also has an automatic safety on it. For anybody that doesn't know, automatic safety is after you've taken a shot and you have it live, the moment that you open the gun, or even if you've not taken a shot, as soon as you open the gun or put this lever across, it slots back down into safety or into safe, which means that the safety element of these guns are quite good. The reason that they're like this is because that these would have been considered game guns back in the day, or live guns, live pigeon guns, or whatever you want to call them. So they would have, for a safety element, when you're in the field and you're out walking and stuff, you wanted it to be safe. This gun, as you did see during the restoration, had a lot of rust, but we've managed to fix that up. The barrels on this looked horrific until we gave it a bloody good clean. This left barrel is a bit pitted, but the right barrel seems to be perfectly fine. Yeah, there's not much really to talk about this. It's not got any engraving. It's all very plain. But it's the first gun that I learned how to shoot, and it just fits me, or I managed to wrap my body around in getting this to work for me. So that's my second gun, and the third gun is the French gun, and I'll give you some more information about that as well. This is the French gun, what is a Verney Caron. What is, some people call it a Saint Estienne gun, and they are were founded in 1820. This is a 16 bore, what is a caliber of shotgun cartridge, or a gauge of shotgun that is not as popular in 2024, but is sort of making a bit of a resurgence. This gun is absolutely beautiful. As you can imagine, my father-in-law's dad was quite small, so this gun fitted him. However, it is absolutely tiny for me. The comb on this is so thin. So yeah, it's an extremely flat gun as well, just so flat through the comb. The wood on this is absolutely amazing, but it is a 16 bore, and interestingly enough as well, these barrels have been sleeved. So what is sleeving? I'm not the most experienced person, but I'll give it a good go and explain for you. The first the chamber, essentially, I'm guessing that this gun, with it being so old, this is yet again a gun that's over 100 years old, and is in absolutely beautiful condition. This gun would have taken either had some beating, or the way that the cartridge is fitted in. So therefore, they cut the barrel. They cut like the first couple of inches off, and they then resolder this back on to the gun, and basically means it can be continued to be used. So yeah, these guns have been sleeved, and yeah, this gun, it closes, as you can hear, absolutely fantastically. It is so tight. From my understanding, unfortunately, Sarah's, or my father-in-law's dad, passed away when my partner was 1. And from my understanding, he only just got the sleeved part of this gun done. And between this last year of me owning this gun, or it being passed down to me, we've possibly shot more cartridges through this than Sarah's or granddad or my father-in-law's dad did. with the sleeved barrels. Interestingly enough, I did take this out early September last year, and I did shoot down a goose with it. 16 bore is close to 12. There's not that much of a difference, but I just wanted to take this out, and I have already got some lovely memories of being sat out listening to them geese come in and bringing one down with this gun. You can actually see that on my Instagram as well. So we'll try run through. I don't know what the chokes are, but I would say that there'd be like a full and a half going back with the age. The barrel length, yet again, don't know where to start this from, is... Do you start it from after the chamber? Would make more sense. Around about that 25-inch, give or take. And the stock, yeah, again, don't know where to measure it. It's got this recoil pad on because this is my partner's gun, and we just needed to take out some of that recoil. This is an extremely small stock, sort of being around the 13.5 to 14-inch stock. But yeah, this gun is made beautifully. It's got lovely scrolling leaves all over the top. It's just absolutely fantastic. And that is my very small 3-gun collection. And I'm not a big fan of just collecting guns for the sake of buying guns. I want to buy guns that I'm going to use that are going to have a purpose. I've currently only got a 3 cab, but definitely going to get a bigger one. That is also the limiting factor. But this holds sentimental value. Unclab, what is the Belgian gun, holds some sentimental value as well, because that's been passed down through the family. And with it being my first gun, I'd like to hope that I'd be able to pass that down to my son. And then thirdly, the AYA is the first gun that I bought with my own money that I shot my first pheasant with. So yet again, would like to try and keep hold of all of these guns and just expand either with newer guns or guns that are going to have a purpose towards my shooting. But that is my small collection. I have lined up a friend of mine to bring down his gun collection, which is much vaster than mine. I think he's at 8 guns potentially. So we're going to run through that. And I hope that you've enjoyed me rambling and going through my gun collection. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much.